No contact is weak when all you are doing is sitting there waiting for her to feel your absence. That is the truth most men do not want to hear, because a man can stop texting her and still be chasing her in his mind. He can stop calling her and still be checking her stories every night. He can stop sending paragraphs and still be hoping every post makes her jealous. He can say, I'm in no contact, while his entire day is still built around one question: is she missing me yet? That is not strength. That is emotional waiting. And emotional waiting will destroy you quietly because you are not healing. You are just standing still with your phone in your hand, hoping silence does the work your discipline refuses to do. So forget weak no contact. Do something stronger. Become the man she cannot pull back with one message. That is what makes her old certainty crumble. Not because you are trying to hurt her, not because you want revenge, not because you want to manipulate her into begging, but because the old version of you disappears for real. The version that chased, the version that over explained, the version that checked, the version that begged for clarity, the version that treated her attention like oxygen. When that version dies, everything changes because she may have expected you to go quiet for a few days. She may have expected you to act strong, then break. She may have expected one lonely night to make you send a message. She may have expected one soft signal from her to pull you back into the same old role. But what she did not expect was your transformation. That is the difference. Weak no contact says, I hope she notices I am gone. Strong self respect says, I am rebuilding whether she notices or not. Weak no contact says, I will stay silent until she comes back. Strong self respect says, I will become so grounded that her return no longer controls me. Weak no contact is a tactic. Strong self respect is an identity. And identity is what changes a man because when a woman pulls away, goes cold, ignores you, chooses distance, or treats you like an option, the old instinct is to do something immediately. Text or explain. Ask what happened. Ask if she still cares. Apologize again. Send one more paragraph. Check if she viewed your story. Try to find proof that you still matter. But the first instinct after pain is usually not wisdom, it is panic looking for relief. A strong man does not let panic lead him. He pauses, he breathes, he steps back, he lets his emotions rise without obeying them. That pause is where your power begins because most men do not lose her because they care. Caring is not weakness. They lose themselves because they turn care into chasing. They turn missing her into begging. They turn uncertainty into obsession. They turn silence into a courtroom where they keep trying to prove their worth to someone who is not giving them peace. And then they call it love, but love should not make a man abandon himself. If your love makes you beg for basic respect, it is not love leading you anymore. It is fear, fear of being forgotten, fear of being replaced, fear of losing access, fear that if you stop trying, she will disappear forever, fear that another man will get what you wanted. Fear that her silence means you were never enough. And fear will make a man do things his future self will regret. It will make him send the message. It will make him check the story. It will make him ask mutual friends. It will make him post fake confidence. It will make him accept crumbs. It will make him apologize for things he did not do just to keep the door open. That is why no contact alone is not enough. Because if your fear is still leading you, silence is just a mask. You are quiet outside, but inside you are still on your knees. What you need is not just silence. You need control, control over your phone, control over your emotions, control over your routine, control over your attention. Control over the story you keep telling yourself, because the story is what breaks men. You tell yourself, if I do not reach out, she will forget me. But if your presence only matters because you keep reminding her, that is not real attraction. That is pressure. You tell yourself, maybe she is waiting for me. Maybe she is not. But a man with self respect does not build his life around maybe. You tell yourself, one message will not hurt. But one message sent from panic can reopen everything you spent weeks trying to close. You tell yourself, I just need closure. But be honest. Many times you do not want closure. You want another chance. You want a reply. You want relief. You want one sign that you still matter. A strong man tells himself the truth before he acts. He says, I want to text because I want the pain to stop. Then he chooses discipline. He writes the message in his notes and does not send it. He puts the phone away. He walks. He trains. He prays if faith is part of his life. He sleeps. He lets the urge rise and fall without turning it into another mistake. Pain can be felt without being followed. That line matters. Pain can be felt without being followed. You can miss her and still not text. You can care and still not chase. You can feel rejected and still not beg. You can want answers and still not reopen the wound. That is emotional control. And emotional control is what makes you powerful, not because it controls her, because it finally gives you back control over yourself. That is what she did not expect. She may have expected silence. She did not expect control. She may have expected you to stop texting. She did not expect you to stop orbiting. She may have expected you to act strong. She did not expect you to become strong. And that is what makes the old dynamic crumble, because before, maybe she knew the pattern. She could get cold and you would get warmer. She could pull away and you would move closer. She could give less and you would give more. She could become unclear and you would start proving. She could go silent and you would make her silence the center of your whole life. But when you stop playing your old role, the pattern loses power. That is the real move, not revenge, not begging, not manipulation, poor interruption. She expects chasing, but you choose calm. She expects panic, but you choose discipline. She expects you to prove your worth, but you choose to live inside it. She expects you to fold when the silence gets heavy, but you keep walking. That is what changes everything. Because no contact is weak if it is only about not talking, but no contact becomes powerful when your whole life starts moving differently. You stop checking, you stop asking, you stop performing, you stop waiting, you stop making her reaction the center of your healing, you stop turning your pain into a message, you stop giving her emotional access while she gives you uncertainty, and you return to yourself. Your body needs you, your work needs you. Your money needs you, your sleep needs you, your discipline needs you, your faith needs you, your future needs you. Stop giving your strongest energy to someone who is giving you confusion. That is not hate, that is self respect. Now, most men think the goal is to make her crumble emotionally. That is weak thinking, that is revenge thinking, that is a man still controlled by pain. The real thing that should crumble is her certainty that you will always be there, no matter how she treats you, the certainty that your attention is automatic, the certainty that one soft message gets full access again, the certainty that she can pull away while you keep waiting, the certainty that your peace still depends on her mood. When that certainty crumbles, it is not because you attacked her, it is because you finally stopped attacking yourself. That is the higher level. Because every time you chase someone who is choosing distance, you attack your own dignity. Every time you check something that you know will hurt you, you attack your own peace. Every time you beg for clarity from someone who benefits from your confusion, you attack your own self respect. So do this instead. Protect your peace like it belongs to you, because it does. The first real move is to stop feeding the wound. That means no checking her stories, no checking who liked her posts, no asking if she is seeing someone, no searching for signs, no reading old messages until your chest hurts, no posting things just to get her attention, no trying to make her jealous, no pretending you are fine while secretly begging the internet to show her your pain. All of that is hidden chasing, and hidden chasing keeps you attached. A man cannot heal while he keeps picking up the knife to see if it still cuts. If checking her page makes you feel worse, stop calling it curiosity. It is self-harm to your confidence. If rereading old messages makes you spiral, stop calling it memory. It is emotional poison. If asking mutual friends makes you anxious, stop calling it information. It is addiction. You need a clean break from the behaviors that keep the wound fresh. Not because you do not care, because you care about yourself now too. The second real move is to stop making her the judge of your value. She pulled away. That hurts. She went cold. That hurts. She may have chosen someone else. That hurts. But none of that gets to define your worth unless you hand it that power. A woman's inability to choose you clearly does not mean you are not valuable. Her silence does not mean you are not enough. Her distance does not mean your love meant nothing. Her confusion does not mean you should become confused about yourself. You must separate your value from her behavior. That is maturity. Because if her warmth makes you feel powerful and her coldness makes you feel worthless, then she is controlling your identity. A man cannot live like that. A man must have a center. Your center is your discipline, your routine, your body, your work, your standards, your faith, your direction, your ability to keep moving when emotion gets loud. When you have a center, her silence may hurt you, but it will not define you. That is strength. The third real move is to become unavailable for confusion, not unavailable to love. Unavailable for confusion, there is a difference. You can be open to love and still reject mixed signals. You can care about her and still step back from unclear energy. You can miss her and still refuse to chase. You can forgive and still move slowly. A weak man thinks love means tolerating anything. A strong man understands love without boundaries becomes self abandonment. So if she is unclear, you do not overinvest. If she is inconsistent, you do not give consistent emotional access. If she is casual, you do not give relationship level energy. If she comes and goes, you do not build your life around her return. If she says she misses you but gives no clarity, you do not act like everything is fixed. That is self respect. Now, let us be honest about late nights. This is where men fall apart. During the day, you may feel strong. You can work, train, stay busy, talk to people. But at night, when the room gets quiet, the old version of you starts speaking. It says, just check once. It says, send something small. It says, maybe she is waiting. It says, maybe she thinks you do not care. It says, if you stay silent too long, she will move on forever. But you must understand something. Your midnight mind is not always wise. Sometimes it is just lonely. Sometimes it is anxious. Sometimes it is exhausted. Sometimes it is trying to stop the pain quickly, even if the decision creates more pain later. Do not let your weakest hour make decisions for your strongest future. That line matters. Do not let your weakest hour make decisions for your strongest future. When the urge comes, do not negotiate with it forever. Chant your state. Stand up, drink water, walk, train if you can. Drop the message in notes, but do not send it. Put the phone away, breathe until the wave passes. Sleep. Your emotions will scream, but they will not scream forever. Every urge has a peak. If you do not obey it, it falls. And every time you let the urge fall without obeying it, you become stronger. That is how self trust comes back. Now, here's your 7-day reset. For 7 days, do not message her first from panic. Do not check her stories. Do not ask mutual friends about her. Do not post to get her attention. Do not make emotional decisions at night. Do not reread old messages until your chest hurts. Do not send a soft message when what you really want is reassurance. Put that energy into training, work, money, sleep, discipline, faith, emotional control, and rebuilding your identity. Train your body even when your mind is heavy. Clean your space even when your emotions feel messy. Fix your sleep because tired men make weak decisions. Eat properly because heartbreak drains your focus. Walk when anxiety hits. Fraught what you want to say, but do not send it from panic. Put your phone away before midnight. Build your day before your emotions build it for you. This is not about pretending you do not care. It is about proving that her silence does not own you. Every time you do not chase, you rebuild self trust. Every time you do not check, you rebuild control. Every time you do not post for her reaction, you rebuild dignity. Every time you keep your routine while hurting, you become stronger. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. You said you would not chase. Do not chase. You said you would not beg. Do not beg. You said you would not abandon your standards. Do not abandon them. That is how a man becomes solid. And a solid man is not easily pulled back into chaos. Now, understand this. Your silence only becomes powerful when your life gets louder. If you are silent but doing nothing, your mind will keep circling her. If you are silent but still living the same weak routine, your pain will grow. If you are silent but not improving, you will become bitter. That is why you must build. Build your body, build your money, build your discipline, build your emotional control, build your routine, build your identity. Build the version of you who does not need one woman's attention to feel like a man. Because when you build, you stop waiting. And when you stop waiting, your energy changes. You are not frozen anymore. You are not paused. You are not living like your future depends on her return. You are moving. A man in motion is different. He does not look desperate. He does not sound needy. He does not feel like a man waiting at the door. He feels like a man with direction. And direction is one of the most attractive forms of masculine power, not because it manipulates anyone, because it makes you whole. A man with direction can love deeply without losing himself. He can care without chasing. He can miss someone without making them his master. That is the man you are becoming. Now, if she reaches out after this, do not collapse. This is where most men fail. They finally stop chasing. They finally start rebuilding. They finally get some self-respect back. Then she sends one message. Hey, I miss you. I was thinking about you. Can we talk? And the old man wakes up. He replies too fast. He writes too much. He asks if she missed him. He tries to get certainty immediately. He turns one small message into a full emotional conversation. He acts like he has been waiting by the phone the whole time, and she feels it. She feels that he did not really grow. He only got quiet. Do not be that man. A small message is not a full return. A hey is not accountability. And I miss you is not change behavior. A late night text is not emotional maturity. A story view is not love. A woman touching the door is not the same as a woman walking through it with clarity. If she says, hey, you can say, hey, hope you're doing well. That is enough. If she says, I miss you, you can say, I hear you. What made you reach out? If she says, I've been thinking about us, you can say, I understand. What do you want to do with that? If she says, can we talk? You can say, we can talk, but I am not rushing back into anything. These are not games. They are calm boundaries. They show openness without desperation. They invite clarity without begging. They protect your peace without attacking her. A real return can handle patience. A fake return usually cannot. If she genuinely wants to reconnect, she will respect your pace. If she only wants emotional access, your boundaries may make her disappear again. Let that happen. You need truth more than temporary comfort because comfort can pull you back into the same cycle. Truth sets you free. Now, what if she says you changed? You can say I had to. The old version of me kept losing himself. What if she says you don't care anymore? You can say I care, but I am not chasing confusion anymore. What if she says you're acting cold? You can say I am not trying to be cold. I am being careful with my peace. Do not over explain. Do not defend your growth for an hour. Do not let guilt drag you back into a place your self respect already left. You can care and still have boundaries. You can love and still step back. You can miss her and still refuse confusion. That is maturity now. If she comes back with real accountability, you do not need to punish her. A strong man does not use his growth as a weapon. If she comes with clarity, listen. If she comes with humility, observe. If she comes with consistent effort, allow trust to build slowly. But do not rush. Forgiveness can happen in a moment. Trust takes time. Do not confuse the two. If she says sorry, receive it calmly, but watch behavior. If she says she misses you, hear it, but watch consistency. If she wants to talk, talk, but do not throw away your peace. That is how a grown man moves. Now, if she comes back with confusion, step back. If she says, I miss you, but I do not know what I want, do not become her emotional waiting room. If she says, I care, but I am not ready, do not give full access to uncertainty. If she reaches out at night but disappears in the morning, do not chase. If she wants your comfort but not responsibility, step back. A man with self respect does not build his peace on maybe. Maybe can have space, maybe can have observation, maybe does not get your whole heart. That is how you protect yourself. Now, here is the part your ego may not like. You must stop trying to make her crumble. The title may say, Watch her crumble, but the real victory is not her falling apart. The real victory is your old weakness falling apart. The chasing crumbles, the begging crumbles, the checking crumbles, the emotional waiting crumbles, the need to prove yourself crumbles, the habit of abandoning yourself crumbles. That is what matters because if you are still obsessed with her reaction and you are not free, if you need her to suffer before you can heal, you are not free. If you need her regret to feel valuable, you are not free. A free man does not need revenge. He needs direction. He does not say, I hope she suffers. He says, I hope I never abandon myself like that again. That is the higher path. A weak man turns heartbreak into bitterness. A strong man turns heartbreak into standards. A weak man tries to break her. A strong man rebuilds himself. That is the difference. Now, if she never comes back, you still win if you become the man this process is creating. This is the part many men avoid because they want the story to end with her return. They want the message, the apology, the regret, the proof that no contact worked. But the highest proof is not her return. The highest proof is your peace. Can you sleep without her reply? Can you train without needing her to notice? Can you work without checking your phone every 10 minutes? Can you stop asking about her? Can you feel sadness without turning it into begging? Can you remember her without reopening the wound? Can you love deeply without losing your frame? That is success because a man who can do that is no longer easy to break. He is harder to manipulate. harder to pull into chaos, harder to make insecure, harder to treat like an option, harder to replace with temporary attention. That man is attractive because he is not desperate for attraction. He has direction. And direction is one of the most powerful things a man can have. A man with direction does not orbit around a woman's uncertainty. He has things to build. He has a body to strengthen. He has money to earn. He has skills to sharpen. He has faith to deepen. He has standards to protect. He has a future that does not pause because one person became unclear. That is real masculine power, not forcing her to miss you, not making her regret, not playing games, becoming the man who no longer has to beg anyone to see his worth. So tonight, when your mind tells you to check if she feels it yet, do not check. When your ego wants proof that she misses you, do not search for proof. When your heart wants to send one small message, do not send from panic. When loneliness tells you to reopen a door that hurts you, breathe, put the phone down, stand up, drink water, walk, train, pray, work, see, build. Do one thing that makes tomorrow better, because discipline is how a man tells heartbreak, you can hurt me, but you cannot lead me. That is the man she did not expect, not the man who begged, not the man who folded, not the man who stayed silent while still waiting, the man who hurt but stayed composed, the man who cared but did not abandon himself, the man who wanted her but did not make her return the measure of his worth, the man who turned silence into strength, pain into standards, and absence into direction. That man is hard to manipulate. That man is hard to replace. That man is free. So remember this. No contact is weak if all you are doing is waiting. Do this instead. Rebuild control your emotions. Protect your attention. Stop checking. Stop performing. Stop feeding the wound. Stop making her reaction the center of your healing. Become the man who does not need to chase to feel valuable. Become the man who can care without collapsing. Become the man who can love without losing himself. Become the man who can stay calm whether she comes back or not. Because the deepest truth is this. The goal is not to watch her crumble. The goal is to watch the weak version of you crumble and never let him lead your life again. And in the next video, you will learn the quiet signs your silence became real power and how to respond if she comes back testing whether the old version of you is still there.